To life, l'chaim, to life. And if we're lucky, then Monday was the worst that Sunday was. Drink l'chaim to life, to life, l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim to life. It gives us something to think about, something to drink about. Drink l'chaim.
Wednesday and said we need a last-minute replacement, and do you think you could come by and do a couple of rehearsals and perform on Monday? And as luck would have it, I was able to. So I sang Far From the Home I Love, which I knew from 10 years ago when I played Puddle in Fiddler on the Roof in San Bernardino, California.
How can I hope to make you understand why I do travel to a distant land, far from the home I love. Once I was happily content to be as I was, where I was, there where my heart has settled long ago. I must go, I must go. Who could imagine I'd be wandering so far from the home I love.
And then the other one, the Elbow song, it was called God Bless the Human Elbow. It's just sort of a fluke. We were looking through piles of music, and it was such a silly title, and I learned it, and we decided to do it sort of, Christina Aguilera pop style. I mean, not that I sound like Christina, but And we just had a blast with it. It was really, really fun.
Do you love me?
I'm your wife.
I know. But do you love me?
Do I love him?
Well,
for 25 years I've lived with him, fought with him, starved with him. 25 years my bed was his. If that's not love, what is?
then you love me.
I suppose I do.
That was fun. Thank you very much. She's really fun. Neither of us knew it, and we assumed everybody knows that song, and we actually had to learn it. But it was fun. It was fun. I like acting with her. I like the thing with Beth the most. I mean, I've always been a big Liz Calloway fan, so I was really happy to get to sing with her.
Who knows tomorrow where our home will be?
I'll be with you, and that's home enough for me.
Everything is right at hand, simple and clear.
Originally, actually, one of the performers, Scott Coulter, saw me in a show, and he recommended me to Scott, and Scott took me on to do another Sammy Davis Jr. number from Mr. Wonderful called Too Close for Comfort. So I did that like a year or two ago. Then I finally debuted at the Metropolitan like 2 weeks ago. And so after my debut, Scott and Barbara Siegel came to the debut, and they were like, you want to do 2 songs from Golden Boy? So they brought me in to do this one, and I loved it. I love doing it every time.
This is the life. They kept you in a box. Break down the wall. Come out and play all the lights. There's nothing Wellington. I'll sweep the soul. Let you belong.
Now I'm well, and that's that. I go home and feed my cat, lock the door, heat my TV, dinner, place my single mat.
They have such incredible singers. Of course, I sing too, but they have like these amazing, amazing voices. But it's great to break it up with a bit of dancing in it, and so that's kind of what I get called in to do these song and dance numbers. It's a lot of fun.
Should I do the things you tell me to in this pickle? What would Sadie do? In my soul I feel an inner lack. Just suppose he wants his dinner back. Does it take more? was very new to the city. I think I'd only been in the city maybe a month or two, and he had called me and said a gal had dropped out of Broadway by the year 1925, and the Seagulls were looking for a newcomer to replace her. And he called me up, and that was that. And it was my very first New York performance right here at Town Hall. And it was a horrible blizzard where literally we were sold out, but the blizzard stopped everyone from coming. 200 diehard fans showed up, and we did the concert anyway. And it was a tremendous night. And I think they actually redid that concert later when the weather got better. But still, it's one of my best memories because it was my first New York experience. I got to do You Are Woman, and it was so great with Greg Edelman. It's a part that I played regionally a couple times, and I'm praying to God that they bring, I'm getting very close to the camera because this is important, that they bring it back. It has been 43 years since they've done Funny Girl on Broadway. Look at this mug. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bring it back.
Now I feel that there's a fire, dear. Try that once. A little higher, dear. What a beast to ruin such a pearl. Would a convent take a Jewish girl? Does it take more explanation than this? Oh, the thrills and chills going through me. If I stop him now, could he sue me?
So that was swell, and you just got to do a snippet of it. But it was a good night, and I think that's what lured me in, is they said, you know, we're going to be doing some songs from Funny Girl. So I showed up in my 60s dress. The Pirate Queen was certainly a labor of love, I think, for everybody across the board. It ended way too early. You know, we know it wasn't a perfect show by any means, but it was glorious, and the people in it were glorious, and the talent that was on stage, some of the best I've ever heard, ever worked with. I think there was also a lot of spectacular elements, the costumes, the lighting, the set design, and I will miss it. I will miss it greatly. I think our producers came from such a world where to them it wasn't about the bottom line or making money, it was about sharing their heritage, the legacy of Grace O'Malley, the beauty of her story to New York City. And although the audiences were on their feet every night, it was a large show, and it took, you know, people to be in the seats every night, paying full ticket price. All I know is, for me, and I think for everybody in the cast, it ended far too quickly. And yes, you know, what do you say? I'm still pretty tender, and I think I will be for a while, because we just feel like the rug was taken out from our feet. But you got to move on. So this was I think a nice way to start healing, quite frankly, to use a lack of a better word. I do want to start healing, so coming tonight, performing with, you know, a new group of people, some really wonderful music, and then tomorrow I jump into rehearsals for the reading of 9 to 5, so I'm just going to keep on trucking. It's so interesting because we are going to do it overseas. We're going to get married in Tuscany. So Seb and I, Sebastian Arcellus, we are on the internet every hour that we get a chance, and we're doing pretty much everything over the internet, choosing our wedding invitations, the location, the photographer, speaking with people, you know, who speak only fluent Italian. So luckily his mother speaks Italian, so we get her on a party line, and it's hilarious. So we kind of have to just do this, show up to Italy, and see what happens. I have no idea, but as long as he shows up, it'll be a good day. There will not be the chicken dance, there will not be YMCA, there will not be any numbers from Greece. Summer Lovin' is not happening at my wedding. I'm telling you here right now.
So many girls become a sinner while waiting for a roast beef dinner. Though most girls slip in ordinary ways, I've got style, I do it Bordelaise. Well, at least he thinks I'm special. He ordered a la carte. It's a feeling I like, feeling very. I feel the feeling down to my toes. God bless.